It's the season debut of college basketball in Western New York as the Buffalo Bulls welcome the Mercyhurst Lakers into Alumni Arena. Hi, everybody. I'm Paul Peck with 3 of the early season, Matt. Top 5 in the MAC in points and rebounds.
Yeah, almost 21 points a game for Janathan here early on. And, you know, if you are familiar with this Buffalo program, you know just how good Janathan was last year. He played his best basketball in conference. But now all of a sudden he's made that next step. As you see, he's learning to step outside. He's becoming a triple threat player. He can drive it. He's got that mid-range game. And, oh, let me tell you, he's starting to shoot it from well outside as well. This kid is a stud for Buffalo.
So here we go. As you get a look at the Buffalo bench, head coach Jim Weitzel will coach from a distance this afternoon due to possible contact tracing exposure. Angus Thorpe, the #1 assistant to Jim Weitzel, will lead the team from the bench tonight. So missing a couple of key players, kind of missing their coach, Matt. There are some challenges in place for Buffalo, and that doesn't even include this really good Mercyhurst team that gets the first possession of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's basketball in 2020, right, Paul? You got to expect the unexpected.
McIntosh looking for his shot, hitting his shot. First shot of the season goes in. It's an early 2-0 Mercyhurst lead. So without Imbala and without Bertram, a little less size on the front line for the Bulls, so maybe a little more guard-dominated. Trayvon Fagan may change our thinking about that as he misses the short baseline jumper. Bulls are going to get a new player into the lineup tonight. We'll talk about that in a moment. On the move, it's Segu for Graves. Dump it off left-handed from Williams. It's up and in.
You're not going to have any time to talk about it if this pace keeps up. It's a track meet early on as just back and forth action in the first 60 seconds or so.
The Bulls have won 16 straight games against non-Division I opponents, but we talked about this. This is a very, very good Mercyhurst team. Michael Bradley with 2 right there.
You just go down the list here, Paul, and they've got all the makings of a team that's going to win a lot of games. They're experienced. They've got a lot of upperclassmen. They've got 6 players who shoot it at 38% or better from beyond the arc.
Good ball movement by the Bulls. Get it to Segu, and Rondo draws the whistle on the drive to the basket.
Well, you pointed out a minute ago, Paul, with Buffalo missing 2 of their studs down low, it may be a guard-oriented game, and all of a sudden Buffalo gets unexpected news. Keyshawn Bruton, the transfer from Coastal Carolina, is in. He doesn't even have his name on the back of his jersey yet because it was so last second, but Bruton is going to be a welcome addition to Buffalo. I think fans are going to really take to how this kid plays. He's a phenomenal shooter and a really, really good athlete.
Yeah, we should see him at some point here soon, and we'll tell you a little more about who he is and what he's all about when we get our debut of Bruton, and at some point coming up here. But it's the starting 5 remaining in off the sideline inbounds. Janathan Williams loses it, but it trickles back to Segu. On a nice move to create some room by Williams, but can't get it to go off the glass. The rebound ripped down by Cameron Gross. Led the team in rebounds a year ago. Bradley from San Antonio, Texas. Sophomore will run a lot of the point guard duties for Mercyhurst, and they're going to try to get it in Micah McIntosh's hands as much as possible. Kind of a 4-guard lineup at the moment for Mercyhurst, but the one big guy who's out there, Gross, hits from distance.
39% from beyond the arc last year. Just another one in the long line of shooters, as I said. That's what makes this Mercyhurst team sort of a nightmare of a matchup. They can all step it outside and knock the shot down.
Speaking of knocking the shot down, we'll pull up Jay from Janathan Williams. He has all of Buffalo's 4 early points. Last season, 20-8, 17-5 in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference were the Mercyhurst Lakers. The scoop to the hoop by Gross is no good. Rebounded by Fagan on the move of the Bulls. Javon Graves will draw the foul.
I like that aggression out of Graves. We saw it from Segu a couple possessions ago. We saw it from Janathan last possession. And I just like the guards getting aggressive like this, forcing the issue down into the lane, making their athleticism known to Mercyhurst early on, and Javon a trip to the line here.
So the senior from Malvern, Ohio, Javon Graves, preseason Mid-American Conference first-teamer. Javon Graves, leading scorer from a year ago, gets his first point of the night.
That's a good thing, too, to see Javon knock knock down that free throw. He's been struggling a little bit from the free throw line this season.
Surprisingly so.
Yeah.
Under 50%.
Yep. Shot at about 65% last year, so you got to assume here sooner enough Javon's going to get it back to normal and start knocking down a bunch.
And that's a good way to get it going, 2 for 2. Same starting 5 still out there for Buffalo. McIntosh on the right wing, looking for an opening. Shot clock at 10. Little one-on-one opportunity here with Segu. Get it back to McIntosh. 3, front rim, no good. Fagan,
defense.
Quick outlet. Segu, layup good.
Great defense from Buffalo. 26 straight seconds of great defending and typical Buffalo basketball. It's the defense leading to the offense.
And again, doesn't matter who grabs those rebounds. They're looking to run and get that outlet pass out quick. Buffalo with its first lead of the afternoon. This is Zach McIntyre playing catch with his teammate Nicholas Lang. Off a foot, and that's kickball.
Love the energy out of the Buffalo bench, too. They got about 4 or 5 players, and the coach is all up. It's sort of a weird feeling inside of Alumni Arena. Obviously very quiet, no fans here in Western New York, so the Buffalo bench and coaching staff looking to create a little energy of their own from the sideline.
I think that's the challenge for every college basketball team, men and women across the country. College basketball is so driven by the energy in the arena from the fans that the teams that can figure out a way to create it on their own are going to have some more success. Williams grabbed the rebound. Thought he was going to go to the hoop. Instead, he dishes back out. Graves gets it down low for Hardnett, and LaQuille draws the foul.
Good dish from Javon. That was a really nice find there, Paul. Buffalo looking solid here early.
Early on here at Alumni Arena, Buffalo and Mercyhurst. Bulls are on the move and with the early lead.
Teams looking to play basketball right now when the PSAC decided not to have their conference season, and you need 11 games if they want to go to the postseason. So really, you got to just tip your cap to Gary Manchill doing everything he can here with Mercyhurst. His kids just want to go play basketball.
He has coached in this building before, spent a couple of years as an assistant at Ohio University, 2001, 2002. So he knows the Alumni Arena and knows what goes on here, knows the layout. LaQuille Hardnett with the first free throw for the sophomore from Philadelphia. Short on the second rather. You know, and again, as you touched on it, the challenge for a Mercyhurst team that has been practicing steadily since October, finally getting to play a game. They know they got a couple of more this weekend, but beyond that, they don't know. They don't know how many games they're going to get, and hopefully it's enough to get them into the tournament. But, you know, right now, at that level with the conference not playing, it is, you just don't know.
And Mercyhurst experienced what a lot of teams experienced at the end of last year as Buffalo gets a quick bucket from Trayvon Fagan in the paint. They were on the court practicing for the Division II tournament, the NCAA tournament, when the administration called and said, hey, you guys got to come back home. So just a tough break for Mercyhurst, and really glad that they were able to get this game done here today so the Lakers can get some action.
And of course, Mercyhurst campus only about 90 minutes away from here in Buffalo, so it was an easy trip to come in and play. Long three, Graves, short rebound tracked down by Graves after a tip from Williams. Janathan will hoist it up, he's short. And the rebound pulled in by Ojale of Mercyhurst. One of those substitutions that you can see waiting to come in is Keyshawn Bruton that we talked about, so we'll get our first look at him in the next whistle.
I'm really excited to see Bruton get the ball in his hands and get out there and show you, all UB fans, what he's made of. Really, really good player.
Nice little pass down low. They've got a couple of great passes, haven't been able to finish as Zach McIntyre, and that's a rebound pulled down by Williams. Janathan sees an opening and puts it up and in with the offhand, the right hand for Janathan Williams.
He's got some sort of button he presses that just makes him the fastest kid in the gym. He gets that next level speed going. It's almost impossible to stay in front of. What a nightmare to guard.
So we get a timeout called by Mercyhurst. interestingly enough, he's got to figure out where he fits in with all these guys.
Sure, you know, he hasn't really practiced per se with the backcourt of Segu and Graves. He's really only been on the scout team, which he's done his best to take advantage of. He says his game day is essentially practice because he didn't think he was going to be able to play.
Yeah, and again, interesting to see how he'll fit in with the starters because there hasn't been a lot of that court time. Pull-up three, left corner is good from Nicholas Lang of Mercyhurst.
There you go again. Another one of these kids on Mercyhurst who can step it outside and hurt you from beyond the arc. Feels like every single player on the court for the Lakers has a deep-range game.
Yeah, they shot 41% and hit 9 per game last year from beyond the arc.
Yeah, it ranked 13th nationally in Division II. It's pretty hard to believe there's 12 schools that shot better than 41% from beyond the arc as a team.
Right-handed hook shot by David Nickelberry. That was nifty.
With a touch.
Created the space with some dribble, found that space on the baseline, and put the hook shot up and in. Steve Kennedy, number 4, hands it off to his teammate Ojale, who hits the 3.
Yeah, Ojale played 1 game last year for Mercyhurst. He scored 21 points and had 8 boards. Unfortunately, he got hurt and did not play again for the rest of the year. So he was primed to have a great season for Mercyhurst. They still won 20 games, and now the Lakers get to plug in Ojale now that he's healthy.
Boy, that's a nice ability to have a guy who you know can play, and you didn't have him last year, and now you will now.
Ooh. What a find.
What a pass. That was Bruton, I believe, on the pass to Fagan.
Welcome to Western New York, Mr. Bruton.
So right off the bat, you're already getting an idea of some of the skills that Keyshawn Bruton brings to this Buffalo team. And the three-point shooting is feeling good right now. That's Steve Kennedy.
Let's see if we can get another look at this pass here from Keyshawn Bruton. He was way downtown at the top of the key here. He was looking left, and whoop! Next thing you know, it's all the way down to the right block. Trayvon Fagan, 1 bounce, finish it up. Thank you very much there, Mr. Bruton.
Good to see Trayvon Fagan back after missing all of last year with a knee injury. And there's a 3 from Janathan Williams. And we are heating up here, aren't we?
I mentioned, excuse me, Paul, in the open. Janathan Williams does everything right offensively for Buffalo inside the paint. He's a stud athlete, but he's really starting to develop a three-point shot. And he's shooting at a nice clip already this year, about 43%.
Collision on the baseline. Bulls are shooting 67% from the field right now. Red hot on this Thursday afternoon in Buffalo. We take a timeout. Back with more action between the Bulls since 1991-92 season. And, you know, because of everything that's gone on this year, those kinds of stats and tidbits are going to happen an awful lot. You know, for the Bulls to have waited till December 10th to play a home game seems very unusual, but so do a lot of things right now. And technically, this is an exhibition game for Mercyhurst, but it does count as a regular season game for the Bulls. Runner in the lane from Kennedy is no good. Rebounded by the Bulls. Here's Graves. Here's Bruton. His first shot as a Bull. Off the side of the rim, no good. But an offensive board and a nice pass from Nickelberry to Graves, who hangs and hits.
Yeah, way to stick with it there. Bruton wanted that pass earlier, I think, from Graves out in transition. And then he decided he had to turn around and get to the three-point arc. He wasn't ever really to get his balance there, but good job with UB to stick with that one and get that 7-point lead.
That's a nice look, but Kennedy will have to kick it back out. That 3 off the front of the rim, no good by Ojale. We get a whistle. That one's going to stay on this end.
I think the referee might have missed that one. David Nickelberry gets flagged for the foul, but it looked like Janathan Williams was the one who might have committed that one. Janathan's going to take it and kind of run and go hide at the end of the bench.
That's what you do when those things happen, doesn't it?
Nickelberry kind of looked at him like, are you kidding me?
Boy, these two teams are red hot. Other than that, the only shot that's been missed in the last 10 was that Bruton shot, and then that one right there. Lead pass over the head of Nickelberry, and that's a turnover by the Bulls. Well, they were red hot, so much for that. I mean, Buffalo's still shooting 9 of 14, but we had a stretch there where the two teams had hit 8 shots in a row. It's this afternoon action. action. Maybe, it's maybe
weird,
the afternoon games, the guys feel a little better. Less time between the shoot around and the game. Maybe that, you keep your good feeling going. Aggressive drive to the hoop right there by Melky Moreau, grad student from Hamburg, Germany. And a transfer from one of Buffalo's Big Four rivals, St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, he never really gained any traction with the Bonnies. It's a good move for him here at Mercyhurst. Going to get a lot of playing time. He's really athletic, and I think he's going to be a nice fit here with the Lakers.
Oh, how about Graves pulling that rebound away from two other players and then feeding Fagan for the basket. That's 4 assists already for Javon Graves.
Trayvon Fagan 3 for 5 from the floor as well. Not to be ignored here. Kind of getting plugged in the absence of Mbala and Bertram, doing a nice job.
Tried the backdoor pass. It kicks off a leg, and it's taken away by the Bulls, and it's loose, and then we get a foul. And that foul is going to go against Mercyhurst.
They're going to get LaQuill
you're
Hardnett,
right. You're
actually,
correct.
unfortunately. Yeah, looked like Hardnett was going for the loose ball, and he maybe had a stiff arm going. I'd like to see a play on there. It's just two guys going for a loose ball. It didn't look like anything that warranted a whistle, but I guess we'll get another look at it here. That was good denied defense by Bruton. Good effort from Fagan to hit the deck. Yeah, it might have had him. That's, I don't love it, but it is what it is.
First foul of the game on LaQuill Hardnett. 3 fouls on Mercyhurst, 2 on Buffalo early on here. Oh, knocked away, quick hands by Nickelberry, but regained by McIntosh. Gross can't hit the long jumper. It's taken away by the Bulls. On the move, Segou. Rondo sees an opening, and there's some contact as he shoots it and will get a whistle.
Keyshawn Bruton playing really good defense right now for Buffalo as well. He's been involved in a few deflections as he stripped it from Gross down low there. So that all got started with good defense from Bruton, and he's fitting right into this blue-collar mentality in Buffalo.
Foul was called on Nicholas Lang of Mercyhurst, his second. Segou will trigger from under his basket. Can't find anybody, and now whips it all the way out for Nickelberry. Here's Bruton. Drives down and hits. And there's your first 2 points as a Buffalo Bull for Keyshawn Bruton.
You know Mercyhurst did their homework. They knew they had to close out on Bruton there. A player came scrambling out to defend the three-point line. Bruton read it perfectly, got aggressive to the basket, and the deuce.
3 from the right wing is short by Kennedy, and that will go back the other way. And let's take a look one more time at Keyshawn Bruton's first Buffalo points.
Yeah, you see it here. They closed out hard. He burns the first line of defense there. Could have even been an and 1, too. He absorbed some contact on the hip. Good job by Keyshawn Bruton. Nice body control to lay that one in.
Bruton with the pass down low for Hardnett. LaQuill will kick it back to Bruton, and he hits.
Hand in the face this time. Keyshawn Bruton's fired up. Really happy to see him out there and cooking for the Buffalo Bulls.
And the Buffalo Bulls have built a 12-point lead thanks to their newest player, Keyshawn Bruton, hitting the 3. Well, the Bulls currently on a 12-2 run, and run the appropriate part of that, Matt.
Yeah, just a really nice stretch of basketball from Buffalo. And what's good to see, Paul, I think, is through the first 3 games, you've had the big 3 from the Bulls, right? You've had Janathon Williams, Rondo Segou, and Javon Graves. You haven't seen big contributions from players down the roster. Today, not so much. You've got Trayvon Fagan, you've got Keyshawn Bruton, and it's really taken a little bit of the pressure off those big 3 for Buffalo.
And a couple of things even early in this season that have certainly continued for Buffalo from last year. They're scoring well, 75 points a game. That's currently 4th in the MAC. And they're rebounding well, 2nd in the MAC in rebounds, and right now out-rebounding Mercyhurst by a 13-7 margin.
Yeah, Mercyhurst is negative in the rebounding margin. That is not one of their strengths.
Bruton from the corner, short. Good rebound for Nickelberry. Kicked it back to Hardnett, and the Bulls will reset. Sagu no good. And another offensive board, no. Well, it was momentarily. It was tipped out into the hands of Lang. And that's a nice dunk by Zach McIntyre.
The flush. Who said he was just a three-point shooter?
Whew. So we talked about liking to run, and we know the Bulls do it, but the Lakers can do it too. Great pass from Steve Kennedy to his teammate Zach McIntyre.
Yeah, McIntyre.
It's the PSAC, as it's referred to, is a really good Division II basketball, football, you name it. They play really good sports there, high-level sports across the state of Pennsylvania. And for Mercyhurst to do what they've done in that conference says an awful lot about their program. Hardnett, nice drive to the hoop.
I love this 5, by the way, Paul, for Buffalo. I think this is going to be an absolute stud of a lineup here for Buffalo.
Front rim no good on the 3 by McIntosh. Bruton got it. Woo-hoo. Yeah, he looks like a scorer, huh, Matt?
I think you could say that. I think we're ready to call him a scorer here. What's he played, about 6-7 minutes or so, and he's already filled it up for Buffalo to the tune of 8 first-half points.
Had a 32-point game last season for Coastal Carolina against Arkansas State, so you know Keyshawn Bruton, when he's feeling it, can fill up that basket. Good defense by the Bulls here. Gross will have to drive for a wild shot up, but he gets his own rebound and puts it in. Cameron Gross.
Oh, he's feeling it.
Yeah, he sure is, isn't he?
A little heat check there from Bruton.
McIntyre grabs the rebound. Gross from the right wing, in and out. A couple of Bulls battle for the board. It gets to Janathan Williams. And Janathan saw that opening on the left side, but couldn't get it to go. Another rebound for McIntyre. Oh, nice pass by Gross, but not an opportunity there for McIntyre to too far underneath the basket. Well, they pass really well. I think we've already figured that out, that they're a very good passing team, are the Mercyhurst Lakers.
Yep, they really are. That was good defense by Hardnett there prior to make sure that McIntyre, as you pointed out, was too far under the basket there. But a really good find.
And let's get another look at Keyshawn Bruton.
He knew it the second he let that go. He started backpedaling right there. He is feeling it right now.
It's an 11-point Buffalo lead. A little over 5 minutes to go in the first half here at Buffalo's Alumni Arena. It's UB's home opener on the season. Little floater from the lane, no good by Bradley, rebounded by the Bulls. That was David Skogman, his first Buffalo action in the ball game. Tipped up, no good. Skogman's got it.
Oh, yeah.
In, and that's the first basket for the redshirt freshman from Waukesha, Wisconsin, David Skogman.
Look at the bench, Paul. That tells you everything you need to know about this team. Every single player leapt up out of their seats when Skogman laid that one in.
Oh, nice drive, nice spinning basket by Melky Moreau as he draws the foul on Skogman. David Skogman redshirted last year, did not play in the first 3 games of this season, but with the injuries on the front line, you knew he was going to get a chance, and he's a big 6'10", 225-pounder who can create some space underneath.
Step it outside a little bit too, we're told as well. I'm interested to see Skogman sort of stretch the floor for the Bulls here, give them a different look with one of their bigs down low. And you said, man, big is an understatement. 6'10" he clocks in at.
Yeah, and he is a good three-point shooter, as you said. Foul called in the lane before the shot by Javon Graves. He lobbied for that to count, and it didn't happen.
Maybe at the next level, Javon, he did declare for the NBA draft. He did not take an agent this past year, so he was able to come back, but he makes it to that next level, he'll get one of those calls.
Yeah, and one of the key people in helping him make that decision was his high school coach at St. Vincent St. Mary's High School in Akron, Drew Joyce, who was LeBron James' head coach at St. Vincent St. Mary's as well, too, and he was a real one of the key guys that kind of helped Javon decide that coming back under the circumstances of this season made a lot more sense. Drive to the lane, no good. Another rebound by Skogman. On the move, there's Javon, hangs and hits.
The body control is just off the charts for Javon Graves. He just floated in the air until he saw his opening and just a little touch to kiss it off the glass.
Almost a bad pass and almost another bad pass, but Mercyhurst recovers, and then a bad pass stolen away by Jamon Bivens, but I think Jamon stepped on the end line.
And he was really close to it. It's tough for you and I to see from our distance here on the court, but Jamon Bivens does a nice job playing some defense there. Let's take a look here. What do you think?
Yeah. I don't think we need to go to the replay booth for that one.
Nope.
He's about a foot and a half out of bounds.
And if not out of bounds, it probably would have been a double dribble for kind of tapping it to himself, skipping it out of bounds.
Good inbound pass, but layup will not fall for Melky Moreau. Kick it out for Segu for three, bullseye.
Rondo Segu sort of been quietly gliding along, just the 5 points, but it's sort of nice when you're getting all these contributions from other Buffalo players. Segu's just sort of been able to fly under the radar, and then all of a sudden he pops back up and drills the triple.
Segu coming off a career-high 22 points in the loss to Bowling Green over the weekend. That was McIntyre hitting for Mercyhurst, and a missed possession for Buffalo taken away by the green-clad Lakers. 3.5 to go, first half. Nice athletic drive to the basket by Moreau, but just can't finish. Speaking of athletic drives to the basket, same thing for Javon. Spins, but can't finish. McIntyre's feeling it. Not that time, but then we get a push, and that's going against Mercyhurst. Rondo Segu coming off his best game ever. Feeling it right there with the three. Matt and I are back for more at Alumni Arena in a moment. To play in the MAC championship game. Third time in team history the Bulls have won the MAC East, and they will get a chance to play for their second MAC championship in Detroit.
How much fun are you having broadcasting that team right now?
A lot. We'll have more on the football team with athletic director Mark Olnett coming up at the half, and it's been a lot of fun trying to keep track of all the records and all the things that Jarrett Patterson and the Bulls team is doing has been a lot of fun. Jonathan Williams in double figures with that nice layup gives them 11. We have a connection to Jarrett Patterson in this basketball game. Tell you about that as we move forward. Stolen away off the arm of Jonathan Williams. Here's Jamon Bivens to Williams, cross-court corner. Segu head and shoulder fake. Graves sees an opening and has it stolen. Stolen away by Kennedy of Mercyhurst. Lakers being patient here. Shot clock under 10. That's a three that is short by Jeff Planutis. Under 2 minutes to go, first half. Nice drive to the hoop by Rondo. Boy, Matt, he is so quick.
He really is. I mean, we said Jonathan Williams is quick, but I don't know. I'd love to see a 40-yard dash between those two.
They are so tight, I'm sure that they've either done it before or would be more than happy to do it. Best friends, Nathan Williams and Rondo Segu are always inseparable. Planutis will try another three. That's no good. Lob it down low. Skogman, head and shoulder fake. Hook shot, good!
The baby hook shot from Skogman. What touch from the big fella.
Well, boy, at 6'10", 225 with some shooting skill as he continues to develop, he's going to be a fun player to watch. You can already see that at that size, he has some nifty touch.
He's just energizing this team, too. The bench is up on their feet right now. They're jacked up for a defensive stand here.
Planutis too hard on the layup. Here come the Bulls again. Segu. Whips it back, oh, tipped away. Nice tip away by Moreau, and Melky Moreau sends it in. What did they say about him down there in Bonaventure?
The Milkman.
The Milkman delivers.
He's a stud. I'm happy.
More than
for
happy
him.
to set you up for one-liners.
Every now and then, you just got to toss it to me and I'll make a fool of myself, you know. Just like that, you look up at the clock. 10 seconds left. Buffalo with a huge lead. Oh!
Yep, now the Bulls are shooting 60% from the field. And that's a lot of the reason why, as our first half comes to an end with a 20.
Other stadiums, other arenas or venues, and we have an opportunity based on the configuration of Alumni Arena to be able to position them, for direct TV view, which we're excited about.
Pretty historic. Particularly a lot of the lower division schools are going through right now, so Gary was more than happy to hop on the bus and make the 90-minute drive here to get a game in against Buffalo, even though this is technically an exhibition for Mercyhurst. Buffalo with the first possession here of the second half. Jonathan Williams, double figures in the first half, led the Bulls with 11. Also chipped in with 9 rebounds, so a good first half for Jonathan, who is the Bulls' leading scorer and rebounder through the first 3 games. And a little bit of a slower pace here on this first possession from Mercyhurst.
I think they realized getting in a track meet wasn't working for them in Buffalo. They had to slow things down a little bit here.
Yeah, and they kind of hang their hat on their defense, which is outstanding. They're a terrific defensive team, but allowing Buffalo to shoot 58% in the first half is not going to make their head coach very happy.
I don't know how many Jonathan Williams and Keyshawn Brutons and Rondo Segues and Javon Graves Mercyhurst plays on a night-to-night basis, so this is a little bit different, obviously, than what they're used to.
Well said. Cameron Gross had that first basket of the second half for Mercyhurst. Jonathan misses the 3. Graves gets the rebound and then draws the foul.
Nice spread-out attack here in the first half as we see the replay of Graves sticking with this one here. Reads it well, airs for it, comes down with it and draws that contact, but I mentioned a little bit in the first half, Paul, that you know what you're going to get with the big 3, the studs for Buffalo, if you will, but a nice spread-out offensive attack. Every player except for one who has checked in so far has gotten in the scoring chart for Buffalo.
Williams spins, looks for the up and under move, shut down, and then stolen away. Nice steal by Michael Bradley. Nice lead pass for McIntyre, high off the glass, no good. Affected by LaQuill Hardnett well on that play. Hardnett gets it back. Can he go to the other end? Yes.
How about LaQuill Hardnett going coast to coast? First to stop, as Paul said, on the defensive end. Sprints down onto the offensive side. A nice little English little side spin there on that layup attempt.
LaQuill had a nice 7.6 rebound game against Army a week or so ago off the bench for the Bulls, getting the start in this game because of the injuries to Bertram and Mbala. And good chance, limited minutes last year for LaQuill after the transfer from Cincinnati, and maybe that opportunity there is going to be there this year for Hardnett to be more of a force for the Bulls off the bench. Somebody's got to win the 6th Man of the Year award in the MAC again, right? Maybe it's LaQuill. Bulls have won that award 3 years in a row. Good defense on the McIntosh shot by Graves. Oh, look at the spin by Javon, and that'll be a jump ball, and that's going to go possession to Mercyhurst.
Get another look at this one. Javon reads it nicely. Gives a little bit of distance, lures the shot in, and as soon as he pulls up, he closes out on it, goes the other way. Actually, really good defense there by Michael Bradley to avoid getting that foul. I think Javon had him beat there, but he recovered well and held ball call.
You always think of the big guys as being the shot blockers, but Graves was one of the better shot blockers for the Bulls last year, and that goes to his athleticism and his anticipation. No good on the 3, but an offensive rebound by Cameron Gross. He gets double teamed and then tried to bounce cross court. It's stolen away and stolen back. McIntosh directs traffic, gets it to McIntyre, who hangs and hits. Zach McIntyre, 6 points today.
Yeah, McIntyre's been struggling a little bit from the floor. He hasn't gotten a lot of easy shots, contention on most of them, but Nice aggressive take there from McIntyre.
And Seguin had that shot blocked, I believe, by Bradley. See a big disparity in rebounds that have gone on in this game so far. Bulls were the nation's #1 rebounding team a year ago, so not a surprise. That's going to be a foul on Javon Graves, his first.
Yeah, that's a stat that I don't know a lot of people talk about enough. It sort of flew under the radar. They led the country in rebounding last year, 41.9. And, of course, the pessimist might chip in here, and Buffalo was second in offensive rebounds, and, of course, the only way you can get an offensive rebound is off a miss. So I suppose you could say that the fact they led the or second in the country in offensive rebounds.
It's a bit of a mixed emotion stat, isn't it? You know, if you're not very good at offensive rebounds, that means you don't miss a lot of shots.
That's true.
Into the lane, a little turnaround will not fall for Melky Moreau. And Williams tried to force that one down low. It was knocked away and taken away by the Lakers. That's the 8th turnover of the game for Buffalo. Just about the only thing on the stat sheet that the coaching staff won't be entirely happy about right now. Bulls still shooting 56% from the field. And the shooting is heating up a little bit for Mercyhurst. That's Nicholas Lang from the corner. Hard net, trying to create some space, up and under move, hard off glass, but up and in. 7 points for LaQuille.
That was just a bully move right there. He could have faded away, he could have gone up with a hook, but now he put his shoulder down and just went right through the chest of the Mercyhurst defender. That's a power move from LaQuille.
McIntyre, back iron, no good. That's the 10th rebound of the game for Janathan Williams. And that's Javon Graves with a right-handed runner.
How do you defend that? You know, Javon,
I don't think you do.
He just gets downhill, and you might as well just start getting back on D.
Plus 15 on the rebounding side for Buffalo right now. Yeah, and again, that's, you know, to some degree, that's the difference between a Division II team and a pretty high-level MAC team in Buffalo, is that Buffalo has some players who can make plays that no matter what you do defensively against them, it isn't going to stop them. We'll take a timeout. The Bulls have not really been able to be stopped at all. Javon Graves hanging and hitting. Buffalo by 20.
Well, we highlighted Janathan Williams in the open for a reason. He is off to an explosive start to the 2020 season. He came in averaging about 21 points and 8 rebounds a game. He's shooting it at a really efficient clip, and today has been no different. Janathan is a stud for UB. 11 rebounds on the day. He is now officially in that double-double territory. 11 points, 11 boards for the junior from down the 90. Rochester.
Interesting to see the career development of Janathan Williams. Came in here as the highest and most touted recruit, frankly, any MAC team had ever gotten, based on those rankings and recruiting, and, you know, and came in. How about that, huh?
And David Nickelberry just rudely interrupted Paul there with a beautiful behind the back pass down on that left block.
Fagan with the bucket. To continue the Janathan Williams thought, you know, he comes in on that senior-laden team with Perkins and Massenberg, isn't really asked to do very much, and, you know, limited time, and you kind of felt like he tried to justify the ranking in the 7 minutes he played every game. And then last year kind of gets into the starting lineup and is figuring himself. Look at that pass. It's okay to keep interrupting me when you do things like that.
Yeah, that's a pretty one. Nickelberry still got a big smile from ear to ear on his face on the far baseline there. But and I couldn't agree more with you. You tend to press a little bit, right, Paul? You come in, you want to sort of prove yourself as Rondo again. We see that speed from Seguin. But, you know, Williams, you want to prove yourself. You want to show Buffalo why you were so highly recruited. He forced it a little bit in his first season. Developed nicely last year, as I said in that open. He played his best basketball in conference play, and now he's just really expanding on his repertoire. He's becoming really efficient offensively.
Nicholas Lang with the corner three-pointer for Mercyhurst. And I think you're seeing that only the way that Janathan is playing, but just in his demeanor, a lot calmer, a lot more relaxed. Rondo Seguin, no relaxing when Rondo's around. Always quick to the hoop.
All new Nissan Rogue.
All right, let's be honest. It's a 21-point lead against a Division II opponent, and that means you can do a little showtime.
I mean, just look at that vision.
Now, I'm not sure David, and rightly so, wouldn't probably do that in a tie game in the second half of a MAC game, but he could do it today, and that was pretty nifty, huh?
Yeah, I think if David did that in a tie ball game in the MAC and it didn't get completed, he would have just turned around and walked straight to the bench before Coach could even pull them out. But
so, hey, the players understand where they are in the game. That's Bruton's pass getting picked off by Ojale of Mercyhurst. Kennedy from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Fagan. Can't promise that we'll get any more behind the back passes, but I wouldn't be surprised with 13-17 to go in this one.
Well, now that I've seen one, I want more. Come on.
I know you do. I don't think we've had a Buffalo dunk yet, so we'll hold out for one of those before this afternoon is over.
I mean, it's quiet enough in here. We could just kind of ask them, and they can probably hear us from all the way over here.
Yeah. Hey, Janathan, can you dunk one for us? That is Steve Kennedy. He's a junior from Bowie, Maryland for Mercyhurst, a graduate of St. Vincent Pallotti High School. Bulls fans will know that that is the alma mater of the Patterson brothers, James and Jarrett. So if that place has turned out a couple of good players and good guys like the Pattersons, then Steve Kennedy's going to have himself a nice career at Mercyhurst.
Those Patterson kids are pretty good at football, huh?
Yeah, I would suspect that they all know each other because the timing is about right.
Yeah,
they're all juniors, so wouldn't be surprised if there's some friendship there. Bruton is long on the three. Moreau, wow. How about that?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
They called that, did they call that on Bruton?
They called that a block, I think. To me, that looked pretty much like that was initiated with a shoulder load there, lowered there. Let's see it.
That's some solid falling back there by Bruton. I've been impressed with Keyshawn in a lot of ways, but his embellishing skills are pretty good too. That's the second foul of the game on Keyshawn. Not to accuse him of embellishing, but
part of the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to know how to get the whistles, right?
Missed layup triggers the break. Here comes Janathan, a little fake behind the back, and the layup good for Janathan Williams.
I thought we were about to get a Showtime hammer there, but
so did I. 13 to go with 11 rebounds for Janathan Williams. How about a double-double for Javon Graves right now with 11 points and 10 boards?
Yeah, and if Javon wants to dish a few more assists out, we're getting a little close here to triple-double land. Hang on.
Yeah, I think he wants to. Oh, how about that? He wanted to foul. Nice effect on that shot by Planutis. There's a whistle, and that's going to be a foul on the Ojale attempt. You're going to get a timeout. 11:42 to go in this one. Buffalo up big. Bulls trying to add some cool stats and some highlight reel baskets. Matt and I return to Alumni Arena in a moment. With Jim Weitzel coaching from a distance because of the possible contact tracing exposure, Angus Thorpe has handled the duties from the bench. 20-plus years of coaching experience in his second year on the Buffalo staff, but he goes back with Jim Weitzel to their days at Lewis University in the Chicago area. Coached together from 1996 to 2000. Angus has coached a lot of places very successfully, so he knows his way around the bench. So not a whole big, always one chair over, but a big step up. But Angus knows how to handle things, and at this point, if this score holds, he can claim to be 1-0 as Bulls head coach.
And really one of the nicer guys in college basketball, too. I can't tell you. I mean, I've only been doing this for my 5th year now, and I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of coaches and a lot of people around basketball, and Coach Thorpe's just one of the good guys.
They call him AT, and he is an outstanding guy to have on your staff. David Nickelberry's corner three, no good. Offensive board for Hardnett. Kick it out to Bruton, three, no good.
That's got to stay
Nickelberry,
here, right?
Nickelberry was going to grab that another offensive board and got fouled. Foul's going to go on McIntosh. McIntosh only 2 points in this game as the returning leading scorer for Mercyhurst. The Bulls have done a nice job on the junior from Pickering, Ontario. Graves for Bruton. Keyshawn drives the lane and draws the foul.
Bruton just helps this Buffalo team in a few different ways. The first thing so far that I've jumped out to me is that you really got to worry, obviously, about his three-point shot. And you don't need me to tell you that. What this does is it just spreads the defense, Paul, right? You got all of a sudden, now you have a legitimate three-point threat from deep. He has really opened up things down low for the likes of LaQuill Hardnett and David Nickelberry, among others. But the way he shoots it, and then all of a sudden, now that he's knocked down a few shots, you got to worry about him closing out. He's been really aggressive to the basket as well. He's just going to really help space things for Buffalo on the offensive end.
Deciding to transfer here from Coastal Carolina. You know what that means, Matt? That means he shunned the shots.
Not many people are doing that this year.
No.
I'll tell you, that's been quite the talking point of college football.
It sure has. The Chanticleers scheduled to come play here in Buffalo against the Bulls football next season. Who knows if all that will continue to hold up, but it's planned at the moment, so that'll be kind of fun.
How much fun would it have been if we could have seen that this year, too? Two of the better teams in that mid-major.
Well, the bowl, there's still a bowl game opportunity there, true. So it's a possibility.
Non-Power 5, two of the better non-Power 5 teams in America.
Little over, just quite to half, not quite to halfway here in this second half. That's a nice drive to the basket by Mercyhurst.
Yeah, McIntosh looking around, wanting and one there, kind of gave the referee a look like, come on, help me out here.
It's only 4 points for Micah McIntosh. And that's Javon Graves, but an offensive foul going to be called on Javon Graves.
I'm going to get another quick glance at this McIntosh play here, see if he had a case for his and one. Nice way to split the defense. You know what? I think he did have a solid case there. That could have been and one, but referee's deciding to let him play on. Not a terribly close game, but beautiful bucket there from McIntosh through the contact.
20-point game right now. Buffalo up. Again, this will count as a regular season game for Buffalo. It will not count as an official game for Mercyhurst. That one would not fall for Moreau. Kind of rolled off the side of the rim. Alley-oop for Bruton from Rondo Segou.
They're just toying with us. That wasn't technically a dunk either. Nope. Paul and I have been begging for one.
Nope. We got to hold to the officialness here. That is not a dunk. But it is 11 points in his Buffalo debut for Keyshawn Bruton. McIntosh hits it.
I think he might have heard us saying he wasn't having a great evening
apparently. Here. He's starting to heat up. Yep. First team all PSAC Western Division last year was Micah McIntosh. Through the hands of Keyshawn Bruton. That's a turnover for the Bulls, their 12th of the afternoon.
Bruton was trying to pass that before he had it in his hands there. He saw Nickelberry wide open on the right wing. Trying to do a little bit too much before the ball was there.
I would suspect before Buffalo's next game over the weekend, they'll get Bruton's name on the back of the jersey there, won't they?
It's pretty clean looking.
You know, they're not going to need the whites for a while.
No.
Not a home game until January, early January for the Bulls, scheduled at the moment.
Unfortunate, too, because these home whites, they're new this year, and these are clean looking right now.
Nice pass down low, and just enough of an effect from Graves, but a foul called on Javon. That will send Melky Moreau to the free throw line. That's the third on Javon Graves. A little bit of a mismatch there, the 6'6" Moreau on the 6'3" Graves.
Honestly, though, that's a good foul if you're going to be Javon Graves. Just make Melky earn him at the free throw line, because that was going to be a two-handed flush if he didn't hit him on the hand there.
Didn't play last year after the transfer from St. Bonaventure. Moreau played 10 games for the Bonnies in the 18-19 season after transferring from Northeast Community College in Nebraska. One of the international players on Mercyhurst's roster. A couple of kids from London, and then Moreau comes from Germany. Savion Gallion, number 5, into the ball game for the first time this afternoon. Spin around, jumper short by Segou. Moreau lost the dribble, picks it up, gets it back to his guard, Micah McIntosh. Well, they're looking to set Moreau up, and he has it knocked away and stolen by Graves on the break. Bounce pass, Nickelberry layup, good.
All right, keep that triple-double watch alive.
Oh,
2 more assists to go.
Yes, that's another assist. 13 points for Javon, 10 rebounds, and that's now 8 assists. Good pass.
Yeah, really good.
And another good pass to find the open guy, but the Lakers can't convert.
I tell you, Moreau's had a lid on the basket. He's had a lot of good looks. He's made a couple power moves as well.
Segu from the corner, no good. Out of bounds, it will stay with the Bulls. That would have been another Graves assist.
Could have been.
Ago preseason first team All-MAC, preseason Big Four Player of the Year. Javon Graves is showing everybody why today.
Yeah, he's cooking for sure. 11, 10, and 8. I love that he's getting it done really in all facets of the game. He's not forcing it offensively with the shooting. He's distributing. He's making everyone else better around him, and he's really showing that when guards can rebound the ball, it just gives everybody a better look at a second chance opportunity offensively.
Yeah, I mentioned that he's good at blocking shots. He's also, as you said, a good rebounder, 5 a game. And how about that for David Nickelberry? Takes the bump and still hits the basket.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard him call glass too as he faded away here. Let's see, let's see this one too. He might have called it off the window.
Good body control there by David Nickelberry. And that's a foul out for Daniel Ojale of Mercyhurst, his 5th. 3-point play opportunity up and good for the senior from Orlando, Florida, David Nickelberry. Had a career-high 11 points against Army about a week or so ago at the Bubbleville tournament.
He's having a nice little evening here. 3 for 4 from the floor, 7 points, couple boards.
Yeah, Bulls using him a little more to kind of the guard position, more of a big point guard. Point forward, is that what we start to call that now?
Yeah,
right?
You're seeing it more and more.
Kennedy from the corner, no good. Loose ball, good hustle. Stays with the Lakers. And Kennedy then draws the foul on Nickelberry. Kind of looked like Jarrett Patterson breaking a tackle there, didn't he?
He sure did. It's you know, these types of plays here, I always hold my breath when you get 2 guys, big guys, jumping and diving on the floor like that. I love the effort, but just always get a little nervous there.
Yeah, the foul was actually on Gallion and not Nickelberry, so first on Savion Gallion. So Kennedy goes to the line, hits the first. Not only does he have that connection to the Patterson brothers, but he played some basketball at Wheeling Jesuit University, which is the alma mater of former Bulls head coach Reggie Witherspoon. All kinds of connections, thanks to Steve Kennedy.
The NCAA really is a small world when you think about it. There's always connections to be made.
Gallion jumps it, dumps it for Graves. Oh, it opened wide for Javon, but the ball gets knocked away. I think Javon thought he was going right to the hoop there, and it looks like an injured Mercyhurst player, and that's Gross, and he'll need some help behind the bench there.
Looks like he's stretching his right foot out, or his right calf even maybe. A little bit lame on that foot. Hopefully he's all right.
Bounce pass into the lane. Moreau just can't hit.
I'm telling you,
poor Melky is the lid not coming off the milk canister on this one. Nice drive to the hoop by Jeff Planutis for his first 2. That's Rondo Segu draining the long 3.
I'm telling you, every time you kind of just miss Rondo out there, he flies under the radar nicely. He's quiet. He's just doing his thing, and all of a sudden he, bang, step back 3 from the top of the key. He's got a dozen. He's
really improved his shooting range and become a much better 3-point shooter. I think in his freshman year, you didn't want to see him shooting a 3.
Well, he's so good at that lost art, as they say, that mid-range jumper. You don't see a lot of guys doing that as much anymore, and Rondo is just money from 10 to 12 feet.
And a shot clock violate. No, we get a foul before that. And I think David Skogman's going to get called for it. What an interesting story. What a great story to see David Skogman makes his official debut. Redshirted last year, didn't play in the first 3. But the backstory that Skogman is here and able to play basketball is amazing, Matt.
Really pretty scary. When David was in high school, he was on the court when he collapsed. Ended up having to have heart surgery, which, I mean, that's just terribly scary, especially at age like that David was in high school. Kind of flew under the radar recruiting because of that incident in high school. David wasn't sure he was ever going to be able to play basketball again, let alone come to Buffalo and play Division I basketball at such a high-level school. So just a really, really cool story. They monitor David's the heart activity very closely, obviously. And just really a feel-good story that Skogman's made such a huge comeback after a near life-threatening issue in high school.
Similar heart issue to former Bull Justin Moss as Planutis with the flush on the steal.
Whoa! Planutis kind of hung there.
Justin Moss had a very similar situation, and because of the Buffalo medical staff and their excellent handling of Justin Moss's situation, I think that gave David and his parents some confidence that the people here could handle whatever that situation may be and make sure that David stays safe, and that's one of the reasons why David Skogman has decided to come here. He was being recruited by some Big Ten teams and some high-level Midwest teams before the incident, and understandably some schools decided to back off. But it's great to see David out here, and he's shown us something already in his limited minutes. Janathan Williams a little too hard. There's Skogman with the tip. It won't go. A little bit over 5 minutes to go in this one. Buffalo up by 18. Mercyhurst has found its groove here and is really playing some good basketball in the second half.
It's a good team. Could be a charge, too. We'll see if he's in the restricted area. Yeah, it's a block. This Lakers team's going to win a bunch of games. 20-8 a year ago, as you mentioned, they're in one of the better divisions, or conferences, rather, in Division II. This is a team that's, if they can get to that 11-game threshold that we talked about and get to some postseason action, I could see this team going a long way.
And again, all that predicated on how things shake out with the schedule. One of only 3 teams in their conference that are still playing basketball, so scheduling is going to be a challenge. That's 14 in the game for Janathan Williams to go along with 11 rebounds.
They were just thrilled to be able to come down the thruway here and play Buffalo, get a little bit of a tune-up against a very, very good Division I team before, as Paul said earlier, playing a couple games against Ferris State this weekend. So sort of mutually beneficial on both ends of the ball here. Buffalo gets to get right here. They were struggling shooting the ball, not so much today. They're back on track. Now Mercyhurst gets a little warm-up, so nice mutually beneficial contest here today.
Yeah, they'll get a couple of games in with their crosstown rival in Erie, Gannon University as well, too, as part of their scheduling. Pull-up jumper from Planutis is long. Look at the rebound, the long arms from David Skogman.
It's fun to watch.
He sure is. Graves, corner 3, in and out. Rebounded by Lang and quickly into the front court. Planutis is the hot guy right now, but he stepped on the sideline. Name might sound familiar to Buffalo basketball fans. His brother Bobby playing at St. Bonaventure last year. Bobby has transferred out of St. Bonaventure, but if the name sounded familiar, that would be why.
He looks just like him. He's got the same shot, too. Very, very similar looking players. Bobby just couldn't really gel at Bonaventure. He started his career at Mount St. Mary's. He's now out at Purdue Fort Wayne.
Skogman backing in too hard off the glass. It's an 18-point Buffalo lead as the Bulls are on their way to ending a 2-game losing streak and evening their record heading into their next game, Big Mac showdown with Miami on Wednesday. Planutis no good off the glass, rebounded by the Bulls. Segou for Williams, head and shoulder fake. Janathan drives, can't hit.
All right, Javon's got about 2 minutes, I'd say, maybe a minute and a half before he heads to the bench.
You are monitoring the need for 2 more assists for the triple-double.
I'm assuming they don't leave him out there for the final 3 with this game being in hand. I don't know that for sure, but he's got 2 more assists to go here. I don't know how much more time he's going to get.
Moreau loses it. Here's Graves. Lead pass. Jonathan Williams for the dunk and the assist.
Two-handed slam from Williams. A nice lead pass from Graves. There you go, Paul. 1 more assist.
All right. There you go. We got 2:36 left. 1 more for the second triple-double by a Bull in the last 3 years. Planutis gets the pass down low to Kennedy, stolen away by Graves. Here's Segu leading the break. Alley-oop for Javon, and he directs it in.
Look out below. Javon Graves climbs the ladder.
Not the classic slam, but it still works anyway. 13 points now for Javon Graves. He needed to give that back to Segu to get what you want here, Matt.
We're going to talk to Javon after the game. I bet you if he doesn't get there, he's not even sure he's that close, or else he may have given that one up.
We get a whistle, and we get some substitutions. We're going to take a timeout. Javon Graves having himself a nice game this afternoon here at Alumni Arena with the half slam off the feed from Rondo. Final 1 minute and 49 seconds of this one. Buffalo comfortably in front of the Mercyhurst Lakers. And a chance for some of the bench guys to get in and get a chance for some playing time here. Trying to get it down low for Skogman. He gets the pass from Nickelberry, and then he travels. So you're not going to get your wish today, Matt.
Unfortunately not.
Javon Graves' afternoon is over with. 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists, 1 shy of a triple-double. Last to do it here at Buffalo was
C.J. Massenberg back in 2018 against Lemoyne. And threw away just the other direction.
Up to 1,149 career points for Javon Graves, 17th on UB's all-time scoring list, with a chance to certainly move up a bunch of places before his career is done. Foul goes on Jamon Bivens, and that will send Micah McIntosh to the free throw line with 1:25 to go. Bulls have done a good job on the leading scorer returning from last year for the Lakers, Micah McIntosh.
Really
just
good
8
job.
points, make it 9. Averaged almost 15 last year. So this game, Matt, did a lot of what Jim Weitzel, Angus Thorpe, and the coaching staff wanted, which was, shake off a tough loss to the preseason pick to win the MAC in Bowling Green, integrate a new player in Keyshawn Bruton, give some guys on the bench a chance, and let Graves and Williams kind of refine their game. Nice steal by Jamon Bivens, and he draws the foul.
Yeah, and a chance for Bivens now to score at the free throw line. He's the last Bull not to score who was checked in, so that'll be a nice little nod to Jamon Bivens. But, Paul, I think you sort of said it there, too. I don't think we've seen the best of this Buffalo team yet, and it's sort of easy to say that because we haven't seen the full Buffalo team yet. They haven't quite had everybody at the same time. When you had Bertram and you had Mballa, you didn't have Bruton. And now that you have Keyshawn Bruton, you don't have Mballa and Bertram. So when everybody starts to get healthy and you start to move along here in this out-of-conference, now coming into conference play, this Buffalo team is going to be pretty darn good.
Yep, they played without Josh Mballa for the last 3 games now. Bertram, of course, as Matt mentioned, didn't play today. That's the key heart and soul of the frontline defense, particularly the way Mballa rebounds. So once the Bulls get Josh back and kind of figure out the best ways to use Bruton to play off of Segu and Graves, this is going to be a dangerous team heading down the stretch.
I mean, heck, they held their own against Bowling Green without Bruton and Mballa. That was a one-possession game until about 60 seconds or so left, and it turned into a foul shooting contest.
Long 3 by McIntosh is good, and it's a little too late, but Micah McIntosh is heating up.
Way downtown.
Under a minute to go in this one. As I mentioned, the Bulls will be off until a Wednesday trip to take on the Miami Redhawks, the team that ended their season in the first round of the Mid-American Conference Tournament a season ago. Boy, that seems like a long time ago for all of us, doesn't it?
It seems like a few years ago, really. That's pretty scary that it really wasn't that long ago at the end of the day.
So that's going to be a big MAC, I almost said MAC East test. There is no MAC East and West anymore,
yeah.
So they're all MAC tests for everybody now with the elimination of the divisions. If you hadn't caught up to that, no divisions in the MAC this year, just 20 conference games. With the top 8 going to Cleveland, no first-round games at the home sites like there was, so it'll be a little bit different. But the Bulls do have a chance, by nature of their not having been a champion crowned last year, of being the first MAC team to ever win 3 conference championships in a row. Maybe a slight technicality there, but...
You know what, though? It is what it is. There has not been another MAC champion other than Buffalo in a few years. So at the end of the day, that's it.
Final seconds going to tick out on this one. It's an 81-64 Buffalo victory over Division II Mercyhurst. As we said, a good performance from the Bulls, a good chance to feel good about themselves on a lot of fronts. Matt and I will return. Post-game show with our guest Javon Graves is coming up from Alumni Arena following this Buffalo Bulls victory.